Cutthroat Caverns. You are live.
Really? Cool.
And you look prettier than ever on my screen.
Well, thank you. Hello, my name is James Simpson, aka Dr. Unity, and owner of Cell Block Studios. So what I'm going to be showing you is a game that I released back in October called Cutthroat Caverns. Cutthroat Caverns is an award-winning, semi-cooperative card game about a party of adventurers who must work together in order to escape the horrors of the deadly dungeon, but who are rewarded with the untold wealth and power if they alone land the killing blow on the most fell creatures. Trip or edge out your friends as you position yourself for the kill, knowing that each time you do, you risk the entire party dying before any of you can escape, with no winners at all. Without teamwork, you'll never survive. Without betrayal, you'll never win. Trust no one. So what we have here, the game's released currently for iOS and Android. And here's our intro screen. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click play. Now we have up to 27 encounters. I'm actually going to play as Vasha. I'm going to set the difficulty to normal. I'm going to do random encounters, so I don't know what's going to be coming. I can select which encounters if I want to try different mechanisms against different encounters. And we're going to do a short game length. So when you do a short game length, you also have lower life points here. This is what this 40 represents. If I do a longer one, like a full length game, it'll be 100 points. So we're going to do a 40 point game. So we're going to confirm and play. So what we have here is a 4-player card game, and you're playing as one of the players. I am Vasha over here, and this is the encounter we're going to encounter. We have a total of 3 encounters. We are on the first encounter. So the Lurker, which is a fiend. The Lurker strikes all players except the player who wounded it for the most damage this round for 15 life points. If no one wounds it, all players lose 5 life points. So I'm going to say ready. I'm initiative 1. Okay? If I need to go back and know what it says, I can click here, and it tells me the Lurker strikes all players except the player who wounded it for the most damage this round. Okay, so I want to make sure I wound it for the most amount of damage this round, or I'm going to have a 5-point attack against me. So I can scroll through my cards. This tells you the number of cards. This tells you the number of potions. This is my life point. And this is how much prestige I get. So when I actually defeat this, I will win this right here, which is the prestige amount. And obviously I want to basically stay alive long enough. But I only get the prestige if I land the killing blow. So in this one case, it's got 215 life points. I'm going to do what's called a rider. And I'm going to say, hey, my next turn, I want to add 30 points to my attack, which means I'm probably going to take 5 points of damage right now. Now I can do 2 choices. I can rally, add 20 points of damage to this, or do a critical miss, make the person miss. I do not feel like being a pain in the butt at this moment. Now, if I really want to be a pain, which I know I'm going to be, I'm going to say critical miss. So that 100 just got lost. Okay? Human Shield. I can do this, and where I can actually... A Human Shield is an action card that I can play when I take damage. I'm going to be taking damage. I know 5 points of damage. But I really want this guy to die. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this, take my 5 points of damage, and direct it there. Now, the way the AI is designed, well, I actually killed the person. Yeah, I told you. With a short game, you have very little life point. At 100, it's okay. So now these 2 players are playing back and forth. And the way the AI is structured is, the AI changes based upon how you play. So they're actually just doing a whole bunch of cards right now. I'm actually going to say, nope, I don't want to rally that person. I don't want to rally that card. That was a good hand. Oh, 5 points left! Okay, I'm initiative number 2. So I know I'm going to add 30 to this, so I know I can use a lower end card to attack. So I'm going to use a 10. Hopefully, that person got it. And I can rally by adding 20 points of damage, but big deal, they've already won unless I had an action to stop them. So Orin is actually going to win. I'm not going to waste my card. And there we go. And now we're down to 2 encounters. I can actually discard some in my hands. I'm actually going to get rid of this rally for right now. If Edain had potions, we would actually be able to fight for the potions. This is the monster killer right here. So we all have to discard a hand, and it's going to be really bad. Okay, so I want to give it the lowest amount possible, which is 5. So, looks like 65 points of life point damage. I'm number 2. Oh, Iron Skin, yeah. I don't take any damage, so I'm not going to heal myself. I'm number 3. Protected cards. With protected cards, if this character matches my player, when I'm playing the card, I can actually choose to use the 20, or I can rotate it and do the 40. I think there will be some damage done to it, so I'm going to actually set this card. Orange just stole the portion of haste. There we go. Now I'm going to play, and I can rotate it and say confirm. Now I get that prestige point. So as of this moment right now, I have 5 prestige, Oren has 3 prestige, and Talon has 0. So I'm going to see if I can do this really quick. I'm going to get rid of... Ooh, we'll keep that one. Since it's my last hand, I'm going to say tap the pass. I'm going to draw up to my 7 cards. I have 2 potions. Blood Mage. At the end of each round, if a Blood Mage still lives, a new encounter will be added, which means since we already started with 3, we can actually have 4. So I'm going to say ready. Now, unfortunately, this person usually kills. So I'm going to be number 3. We want this person dead as fast as possible. So I'm going to do a slip behind. Which on my next turn will allow me to double my card. So we're at 135. Uh-oh. Because we didn't kill it originally, so now there's a new encounter added. Let's see if I can clean this up really quick. Let's do a 40. Ah, don't, no, not me. Ah, okay. So I tried to play a card in case they were trying to steal my card. So now I do essentially 80 points of damage, and 50 does not kill it, which means it's going to add another encounter. So you can see how the game goes. Okay, does anyone have any questions about the game?
Lots of praise of that type of game and of the game itself. A lot of praise of the look of the game. Obviously, you're not using the card art itself from the original tabletop game. Why don't you talk a little bit about the process of converting a tabletop game over to a digital game?
So yes, let's start with the first question. The game was originally created, it's a card-based game. It is a diceless RPG style card game created by a company called Cutthroat Caverns. Smirk And Dagger. Smirk And Dagger is the IP holder. It was one of those games that I played when I was at one of my conventions like Gen Con, and I was like, I love this game. And with that being said, I went and talked to the guy. I was like, look, I really want to port this over. He goes, and he started laughing at me, and I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I've had 3 other companies try and do this before, and they all failed. I said, well, I'm not going to fail. So I went ahead and secured a contract with him, and sure enough, I was able to do it. The biggest problem with this game is, with the 27 encounter cards, they are essentially 27 mini games, and you have interrupts for each type of different cards. There are around 94 there are 94 action and attack cards, and there are 27 encounter cards. So it's been a lot of fun. Like the previous people who have spoke, I'm not a big fan of ads, so I try not to do in-app purchasing or ads. So the game is you have to purchase it outright. I don't want to be doing any kind of IAPs or anything of that nature. And We are up for an Origin Award for the best conversion of a card game into a digital platform. So hopefully we should find out here in June or July whether we actually won. So pretty excited about that.
For those of you who don't know, Origins is one of the biggest and oldest tabletop gaming conventions in the world. Going digital this year, I guess. But,
yes.
Traditionally tabletop group. All right, Cat DeShields in YouTube says that Blood Mage, that art is lovely. Saoirse on YouTube says, love the subtle atmospheric music. Kim Presley asks, what are you using to enforce the effects of the cards?
We have, it's a huge data matrix behind how we do this. So we have to have different stacks behind the scenes for each different cards. And then when an interrupt comes in, we essentially take all of those and create a separate stack to resolve all of those. It was a small nightmare, as well as trying to have 7 different AI types involved here. So you have some AIs that are more reserved, some that are very painful, some that are really, they want to help other people, and trying to balance all that with, they have a card in their hand. How do we know whether to play that? It's been challenging.
For those of you who haven't realized it yet, Dr. Unity did create this game in Unity. Might not look like your normal Unity game, but right now you're only on iOS, right? Is that part of the contract, or are you looking to go on other platforms soon?
As of this moment, we're on Android and iOS, and we're also on iPad. And something I can tell you guys, looking at our numbers, iPad does pretty well. It's almost iPhone, iPad is almost a 50-50 by the number of people that actually purchase this, which is really good. When you deal with Android, we have a lot of problems because Android has such different aspect ratios, depending on what you buy, especially people buy these lower-end tablets and they want to run high-end games, but they have these really off-size dimensions. So we stick with either 16:9, 16:10, or 4:3. And that has been, and 5:4, and those have been the aspect ratios we've been putting it out for. We are looking to put it out for Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PS4.
Very nice. Kim Presley says, congratulations on pulling that all together. Sounds super challenging. Being bored in Twitch asks, when I saw Cutthroat Caverns on this list, I was confused. Like, I don't know, we had more local board game developers. But, all right, good stuff, and really interesting look. And this is the one game in the showcase that is available now.
Yes, that's correct. It was released in October, and as we find problems, we make a new build. We've been putting out a new build probably about every 4 to 6 weeks. As people come by and say, "Hey, we found a problem in this," so it's like, okay, so we'll go ahead and push out a new build, and that's going to be the other big thing to put out. When you put out a game, you keep going with it. You keep making it and making it better. Now, the actual Cutthroat Caverns that you can buy at the card games, you can buy at your local comic book store whenever we're allowed to go back to comic book stores. There are multiple expansion packs, which we will be adding as DLC content for this.
All right, good stuff. I tell you what, since we didn't let you finish the encounters before, go ahead and finish it now while people watch. We'll go ahead and
we'll see. Hang on.
Game.
Let's see. Discard unwanted card before drawing. Let's see here. Let's get rid of that one.
I've been bugging James to stream this game, and he keeps talking about doing it. Is this the first time you've actually live streamed the game to an audience?
Yeah, that is correct. A Ripper. Oh, I love Ripper. I can kill Ripper in a moment. Hold on.
KCL says, very impressive. Bean Borg asks, does it have local multiplayer or online? And
well, yes and no.
Since no, why? What are the plans?
Yes. So at this moment, it does not have multiplayer, and the biggest thing is trying to find a cheap service for multiplayer. For example, you can use Photon, but since it's a purchase game, we don't do any kind of in-app purchasing or any kind of upsells. We have a hard amount to go with. So it's like, hey, how do we balance spending $1,500 a month for a multiplayer server, and we're only making, let's just say, $1,300 a month, as an example. So we're looking at doing multiplayer if we can find a more cost prohibitive way to do this. Let's see here. I'm number 2. Let's do a double strike. So now I can play 2 cards. Let's see here. So you got a 40, and then do I have any kind of? I don't. Oh, there's my wait. I did that 40, and looks like I can only do a 25. So I will probably not defeat this, and Talon will defeat it by doing a 10. And I have no cards to stop him. So he won prestige, so he got the 6 points. I got 5. He is currently in the lead, and we got 2 encounters left. Now, because of Orin that died, we actually get to pick the potions. We get to basically fight for him. I want to do strength, and then Talon will get that. I'm going to get rid of that 5 because I want to kill things faster. No, we want to keep that back in. Let's get rid of the feint, and let's get rid of the crowd.
I want the mechanic for going through your cards. That's a nice.
Yeah, that was fun. Okay, so when kill see once again you think you play 3 encounters. We added 2 with Blood Mage, and with this one, it takes the current leading player and reshuffle it into the encounter deck. So I have already won one encounter. And if Talon wins this, then we take that one and we put that character back in. So as you can see, it can be a lot longer. So I'm going to do a potion of strength. I still haven't taken any damage, so I'm still going to be fine. Now my next 2 hits are going to be double powerful. So I'm going to do let's do a 40.
Hiccup Interactive wants to know, how big was the team that worked on this one? Was this your usual 20-person team?
Yes, I had actually 75 people working on this. I'm kidding. I had myself and a guy named Walter. So just the 2 of us.
And you did most of the design, the digital design for this, right?
That's correct. I did all the layouts. The art was provided by the IP holder. He actually came out with a new version of the game for the anniversary edition, since it's a 10-year-old
that's where the art came from. I thought you got this art before the game because I hadn't seen this in the cards. You're right. This is new art for the game then, for the card game.
Correct, for the anniversary edition. So I lost. I lost my own game. How's that?
Mehdi asked, did you make all the UI elements from the ground up, or did you use a package like NGUI?
Well, I didn't use a package. They were created in Photoshop, and I'm using UGUI to do all the layouts.
And Saba Aslani says, the character designs are so cool. KCL says, very impressive.
Yeah, we're very happy with it. I mean, it's been a challenging game to build, especially after hearing that 3 other studios failed before it. But the IP holder is extremely happy with it, and you can see YouTube videos where he goes through other companies and he talks about it. He's like, they did a wonderful job. It's like, well, kudos, thank you. So very happy with how it turned out, and I'm playing it on my computer here, and it looks fantastic still.
Yeah, it's all ready for PC release.
Yes, I can put it out for Steam.
All right, everybody, that's our first purely online video game showcase. If you liked it, let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave the stream up, the stream VOD, the video of it, online for a while until I get a chance to edit it down. Saba asks again, so you said you have plans on making it multiplayer?
That is true. If I can find a lower cost solution, then yes, it will be multiplayer. We've already coded the AI to be substituted with actual players, so that's not a problem. And we already have the routines written for our cloud functions. We just got to find out if it's going to be cost effective or not.
All right. Yeah, Beanborg says the whole showcase went well. I agree. Michael Hodges says he loves all the talent showcased here. Yeah, if you're working on something you want to showcase it, let us know. I'd also like to start figuring out a way to do online play testing. I used to do play testing for my Last Noble Armada game while I live streamed it, which was pretty valuable. So we might try and do things like that for the GGDA. If you'd be interested as a developer or a tester, please let us know. Maybe I'll make a thread on the Discord or Facebook group in that regard. So thanks to all of the presenters today. We had Team Mopboy with Mopboy. We had Deve Interactive with Lightbreak. We had Brickham Studios with Kingdom of Kuru. Oh, Bean, you create a whole new studio name, and I've forgotten it. What's your studio name, Bean? Oh, man. I should have written that down. You had a really cool studio name just so that we could have it here today. And I forgot to put it in. And of course, Cell Block Studios with Cutthroat Cavern. So, hey, Bob Carter did the voice acting, and Marshall Garrison, and Tammy. Awesome. Tammy Thomas. Great bunch of voice actors from here in Georgia. That's what we always like to see. And Golfnado is done by Neurodiversion. That's it, Neurodiversion. I love that name. That's very cool. So thanks to all of our showcasers. They did a great job. Really good work. The announcements again: SimFest, June 6th. Paul Jenkins keynoting. Zane Everett. A bunch of other folks speaking at it. Hiccup Interactive will be speaking there as well. And remember, if you need various levels of insurance and can't afford them or can't get access to them, we can do them now through the Georgia Game Developers Association, Piedmont Group. The link is on our homepage. See you next week, the 19th, at Joe's Meetup online. We'll probably use the GGA Zoom. So we'll have information up about that in the various GGDA social media groups. And I agree, Saoirse. Love seeing everyone's projects. All right. Thank you, everybody who took part. Thanks to all of you for watching. Good crowd tonight. And share this video and support these games when they come out. And with that, I hope that everyone has a great and safe week as I look for my outro. There we go. So, take care, everybody.